Hey guys, and welcome to Riverhaven Collects. Today we've got something a bit different. After last time when the advertising on the inside of Ninja Spawn had the dragons, I thought, well, I've actually got a dragon. So this is from the Mcfarlane's Dragon series, Quest for the Lost King. There are 5 other dragons in this series as well. This isn't the one from the advertising, unfortunately, but it's a dragon. So I thought, well, I'd really like to check out the rest of the dragons in this series, and I've actually got one, so I thought, yeah, we'd unbox him today. This was released in February 2005, and I don't believe that this is like the first line in the series of dragons. I believe this is the 3rd series, though I could be wrong. But anyway, let's get him out of his box and check him out.
Alright guys, so we got the box. I kind of let you guys have a little look at it before, but yeah, so Mcfarlane's Dragons. So this is a series that I am interested in collecting as well. We'll just see if I have the money and the space to actually get them. But yeah, I picked this up for like $20 I think, and isn't that a beautiful art piece we got there? That's really nice, I really like that. And here are the others. So interesting, we've got a lot of text here. So this top one's in English, so if you want to pause it you can have a read of that. But another thing that's interesting is everything is like sideways, so I guess that's a interesting way to do it. We've got the other dragons from the series here, and I really like that they all look kind of unique, and like this water one really looks like a water dragon and that sort of thing. Like, I really like that. I'd really like to get these in hand and check them out, but we'll have to see. So anyway, let's get him out of his box. So we got another clamshell, and you know I always hate the clamshells, but I think I'm getting better at it. This was like super easy, so yeah. I think I'm getting better. So I thought we would take this out and have a look at this first. So interesting, like, background art we got on this. So strange, I don't know what that means. Maybe it's the clan symbol or something. And then we've got the back, we already looked at that. And this was a surprise. So we've actually got lore. So this is all the lore of the dragons and the tribes and the stories and what's going on. So yeah, very interesting. These last 2 aren't in English, this first page is. And like I said before, I thought this was part 3 or series 3, and it is, so got that right. But anyway, let's move on to the main event. We'll try and get him out of his box here. So got to clip all these zip ties off. Just regular zip ties this time, nothing special about them. And there's only 3, so that's not too bad. So we've got this little turret, and this is what the dragon sits on. This is like his stand, and as you can see, it's all made out of rubber, which was a little bit of a surprise, but it's really good that it is made out of rubber. I think that it'll last and won't break that easily. Now we've got the dragon, and you can see that his tail goes through the back there, which is, yeah, why he's stuck. But here he is, so yeah, looks very cool, very detailed. Got his little warrior on the back. And he's missing his toes, which that is because they are actually on the turret. So we'll just put him in here, and you can kind of see that his claws, and on the right one he's got his toes on the turret here, so they're all just gonna line up, hopefully. So he's got a nice big metal bar through his left foot, so hopefully that's gonna keep him secure, and yeah, he's not gonna move or fall off of there. It's a bit of a struggle to get these lined up and get him in, especially the right foot, because that is a rubber foothold that he goes into. So that one's not as good, but yeah, that one I just couldn't get in and it won't line up, so it's as good as it's going to get, unfortunately. But I thought we'd try and check out the articulation, or what little articulation that there is. So his head's got a little bit. These wings apparently can move. But yeah, that is literally it. I don't know if I'm disappointed in that or what I really think about it. I don't know. I think like some sort of ball joint would have been better. Not much movement in the tail here. However, it does have like the metal rod through it, so you can twist it and bend it into whatever position that you want. And I think it works really well. That sort of tail hasn't really worked that well on other Spawn figures that I've looked at, and I don't like it on most of the Spawn figures. However, I think it's a really nice touch here and works really well. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave you with the showcase, and then I'll be back with my final thoughts.
Alright guys, that has been our look at the Eternal Clan Dragon from the Mcfarlane's Dragon series. So, straight off the bat I want to say that I'm not quite as impressed as I usually would be. I think that it's still a pretty awesome figure, or really it's a statue, because there is really no articulation with this. And unfortunately, if you were a kid and you got this, I think this is something that would just sit on the shelf, like you wouldn't be able to play with it. But as a adult collector like me, I wasn't planning on playing with it anyway. So in that respect, I am happy that it'll just go on the shelf and yeah, look awesome. There are some paint defects. However, most of the painting I think is really good. I can see that they've used a dry brushing technique on the wings, which goes really well with that leathery sort of wings. And that's another thing I want to talk about. I can tell that a lot of thought and a lot of looking at things from nature, so looking at reptiles and snakes and bats and stuff, I can tell that they've actually done this, because if you look at the eyes, that is a very reptile eyes. If you look at a bearded dragon or some sort of lizard like that, they have eyes like that. And I think it's safe to say that they have looked at those sort of things and done their research. As an artist who has also done this, if you look at this here, I looked at a lot of bearded dragons and snakes and stuff to get this effect that gives it a more realistic look. So I really appreciate that they have done that. If they've done that, I assume they have though, because I can kind of tell. But yeah, I think that there is a lot of detail that is hidden in the back here, and that's a bit unfortunate. And I like that they've gone for such a unique knight figure. Like, he's so bizarre. He looks like a little insect warrior. But I really appreciate that they've gone for something different, you know. He could have easily just been a, you know, normal European knight on the back, but they decided to give him a purple cape with dark armor and sort of like these horns coming off of it. And I think he looks really cool. His weapon's very unique as well. I will say, do not play with that weapon whatsoever, because the way that it's positioned, I really wanted to turn it around, and that is not going to be an option. That is staying there, and if it gets played with too much, it is definitely going to break. It is very weak. Overall, though, like pretty impressed. Not as impressed as I thought I would be. I think that the main thing is these feet. They don't want to slide into this amazing stand that we've got, the crushed turret. That is really cool that they have done that. Unfortunately, they didn't have his toes on the figure, and it baffles me that they wouldn't put his toes on there, because you could have had the poles and just have him slide in like very easily. So I just don't know why they did that, because unfortunately the second one doesn't line up at all and doesn't want to slide into its hole. The metal one, of course, has slid in pretty well, but it's still not quite lined up, and I feel like if they had just put the toes on the figure, he could have sat on there and looked, yeah, reasonably normal. Anyway, I think this is one that I will enjoy being on the shelf. Yeah, his bendy tail as well, I love that. It's usually I don't like that. On most of the Spawn figures I have not liked that. But however, here I think it really works, and you can kind of, you know, position it however you would like. Yeah, I really appreciate it on this figure, because I think it really works. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna still enjoy him on the shelf. I think, yeah, it's a interesting attempt, and I think it does work for the most part. Obviously, yeah, there's been a little things that I've kind of criticized, but besides that, I still think he's pretty cool, pretty awesome. And yeah, I'm gonna enjoy looking at him on my shelf. So anyway, guys, that's all there is for today. If you'd like to check out my other videos, there's a ton now. And make sure you leave a like on this video. That would really help me out. And if you've enjoyed it, leave me a comment. And if it's your first time here, then consider hitting the subscribe button. But anyway, guys, I've got a lot more figures to unbox for you, so I'll see you on the next one.